like you mentioned Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde just made so much money on his stand-up tour, and the Comedy Castle didn't even fucking advertise for him.
Right.
And he sold out
sells out 2 shows.
two shows
instantly.
and it's hectic as fuck.
Well, Nancy was going to what's the new comedy
The
bar?
comedy bar, yeah.
Yeah, I think he already came there.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
a couple weeks
And
ago. But I'm
like, listen, I'm a fan. Like, nothing against him, but probably doesn't have solid material.
he's just a maniac.
Yeah.
That's really one of the first like professional shows I've ever left. And I was like, I think I can write better jokes than that.
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
it's
Like,
not
I
like it's like
love
joke
those
jokes.
guys.
Yeah,
yeah.
I absolutely love those guys, and
Yeah.
even my friend who I write with agreed with me. But like some like there, and I might have said this story on here before, but like there was a moment where he did an offensive joke, and it started to get applause from the audience. And I didn't like clap. I put my arms like this, and I was like, I'm not clapping. And that's like the closest social justice warrior moment I've ever had in my life. Because that to me was me making a statement of
Taking
no.
a stand.
Yeah, I was like, no,
Yeah.
that doesn't deserve
No.
it. That wasn't funny,
But
actually.
but was that
Yeah.
for social justice reasons, or was that just because you don't think that's funny?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's the closest
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
ever
yeah.
gonna get.
Was it
Right.
a low blow trying to be funny, or
Well,
was it a? What was the context?
But I don't think Sam's even
Yeah, what was
trying to be
what was
funny.
the
I
joke?
think he's just trying to
it's
be
the
as
anti-
yeah, I
retarded
think there's that
and
like
offensive as
abrasive.
It's
yeah.
it's the adult
People laugh
swim
'cause it's
anti-humor
abrasive,
type shit,
yeah.
you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's still, dude, it still was like the best show I've ever seen at the comedy.
Yeah,
Festival.
I
I'll
can
be
imagine.
honest. Like
it sounded insane.
It was so hype, and like no, being a fan of his sketch group and watching his openers and like actually seeing those guys do stand up, was pretty fucking fun.
Were you sitting in the splash zone when you saw him? How close were
Kind
you?
of. We were in the middle, and Sam, like, how he came out was like, it's like some epic music's playing, and like it's building suspense. So everyone's looking at the Comedy Castle door, waiting for him.
He
to come
comes
out.
through the back.
And he and I look up, and he's like 2 feet away,
Yeah.
from me, walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then he just acted retarded for the first 5 or 10 minutes,
Dude.
like literally,
Yeah, actually.
yeah.
kicking people's popcorn and shit, and people were loving it. So that's
man.
what I'm saying of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
anti-humor.
Yeah.
And just having an audience, man.
Yeah, I mean, he has
what it's all
diehard
about.
fans. His fans.
And they're kind of the Legion of Skank fans too.
Yeah.
A lot of them are crossover
Without a
because he'll be
doubt,
on that a lot. And then
Yeah.
the last time we were in New York, they had to cancel a show for Skanks and do it on a Sunday instead of a Monday. So on Monday they did like Skanks and Friends with Lewis hosting it, and that Sam Hyde closed it, and he probably did 15 minutes. And that's what I mean about the splash zone, is that he's sweating so bad by the end of it, he's like shaking sweat onto the audience. I was like, boy, am I
Yeah.
glad we're at the corner of the stage. It was. Yo, it was something.
We've gotten very close a number of times to getting Nick on the podcast, and he just is not committing to it. I'm so fucking done with
That
it.
is hilarious.
I love him though, but
Is he just messing with you, or is he?
he keeps saying he wants to do it, and he's
Is he
going
gonna
to do
zoom
it.
in
but-
or what?
Huh?
Zoom, or
I'm,
if he's in town, he'll come out.
So it was going to be a Zoom, and then he went on vacation with his family, and he's like, I have to reschedule. And then I was like, okay, like let me know whenever you're back. And you didn't let me know. And then I was like, hey, like, can we do it now? And he's like,
Oh.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I found out they were coming to town. I was like, hey, when you're in town, would you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, for sure. Let's not do the Zoom. We'll do it when we're in town.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And I was like, nice.
Then that didn't happen.
And then he was like, hey, I messaged him the week they were coming to town. He's like, oh, we just too much going on. We can't do it. And I was
Oh.
like, fuck. And then I was like, okay, well, when you're back, I'll. And he's like, yeah, for sure. And then I messaged him after the tour ended and was like, hey, like, let me know a time that works for you. And then he liked my message and he didn't respond. And then I saw when he was on Matan Evans' show, I messaged him and I was like, hey, I saw that thing. That was hilarious. And just no response after that. So I think he's done with me.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Well, if you ever get him on, either have me on or let me write some questions.
Okay, for
'Cause
sure.
I got a lot of
Yeah.
questions.
You could probably get it. I mean, if his DMs were open to me, you could probably
Maybe,
get it.
yeah. I've heard of other people adding him on Facebook and shit.
Yeah, Chris Barrett, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think someone else too. Yeah. And it's funny that like I'll see people that like we know, and I'll see like famous comedians and my suggested friends on Facebook, and it'll be like one mutual friend. And
Yeah.
It's like some open micer. I'm like,
Yeah.
How'd they pull that off?
yeah. You just honestly probably just hit add friend. The guy was feeling nice.
Yeah.
I think if they see that you're a comic, a lot of times they'll add you.
Yeah.
Maybe, or like if they met them at a show or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because I mean, that's how you become friends with all these comedians, is, like just talking to them after a show.
Right.
Get connections.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
Out of the #1 Metro Detroit Comedy Podcast, Big Neil